Hey, this is Greg Benz, and I'm happy to introduce the Lumenzia LITE luminosity masking panel for Photoshop. This light version of Lumenzia is available for free and is similarly designed to help you quickly create 16-bit luminosity masks, selections, and channels. In this video, you'll learn how the light panel works, how you can use it to create some gorgeous images, and some of the ways that it differs from the full version of Lumenzia. Let's start with a quick orientation to the Lumenzia LITE interface. The first two rows of orange buttons are just various different previews of darks, lights, or midtone values in the image. For example, I could click on D3 to get a darks 3 preview, and what I'm seeing here is going to be brightest in the darkest parts of the image because we're selecting things that are dark. And so this would be output as a mask the way it is, where white would reveal and black conceals, or we could convert this to a selection where white is most selected and black is most protected. So if I, for example, wanted to work in the shadows of these trees, I'd probably want to be more restrictive, and I might try darks 4, darks 5, or even darks 6. I can try just different previews until I find the best match. Or maybe I want to go select light values in the image, maybe lights 2, or even midtones like zone B, zone C. So a variety of different previews we can generate. You just click till you find the best preview where white is targeting the thing you want to adjust in your image. And then in the next row of options, we can output as a luminosity selection, a layer mask on the current layer, or as a layer mask on any of these different adjustment layers, or just simply click X, which will discard the preview and do nothing at this time. There's links for tutorials and more information about Lumenzia, as well as a flyout menu where you can create all the luminosity masking channels or delete them if you made them. So this is a great way to work with more advanced channel operations. We have the option to hide marching ants, which I would recommend you leave checked, as well as more advanced utilities and options in the panel. So with that, let's jump right in and start working on this image, which has great color, but it lacks contrast. Specifically, I want to take the brighter values in this image and brighten them up to give it more pop. So I'm going to do some brightness contrast work, and I want to do so to the lighter tones in the image. So I'm going to start by generating a lights preview, and I think just L1 is going to work great. It's going to help target these treetops because they are more selected. They're brighter than the shadow values, which are in black. So I think this is a great preview, and I'm going to convert it to a layer mask on a brightness contrast layer by clicking on this button here. And now I can just double click on my brightness contrast layer and begin to adjust it through the layer mask we created. Now this layer mask, if I Alt or Option click it, you can see it looks exactly like our preview. So this is our 16-bit luminosity mask generated directly from that preview. So with my brightness contrast layer, I'm going to go and increase the brightness to give it some more pop, and we'll bring up the contrast a bit. Something like that, I think, makes the image look a lot more interesting. Now, I need to take some parts of the image a little further. Specifically, I'm thinking at this point, I probably made the lake a little too bright, and these trees here, these white trees, they're not bright enough yet. So I can't make those adjustments through here because this luminosity mask affects the whole image, and I need to target these specific areas, and I need to make slightly different adjustments to them. So let's generate a new adjustment that's going to target these trees and make them brighter. I can go click for, let's say, a new brightness contrast layer. I'm going to go and make things brighter through it. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hide this layer with a black mask. And I can do that by Alt clicking on mask. Alt or Option clicking will give us the inverse. So we have a black layer mask and black conceal. So everything is hidden. And now I'm going to create a luminosity selection to paint through and reveal the adjustment to just the tree areas. So if I click on something like L, I'm getting an adjustment of highlights across the entire image. And I want to be a little more restrictive to just these trees. So let's try L2 for the lights 2, and I think that's a much better, more targeted way of hitting these trees without spilling over to the adjacent trees. So I'm going to click on Cell to make that a luminosity selection. We don't see any ants because I have that as my option in my preferences, but the Cell button is lit green to let us know that there is an active selection and I can paint through it onto my luminosity mask. So with my mask selected, hitting B for my brush, I'm just going to go in and paint with white paint on my layer mask through that selection. And in doing so, what I'm doing, if I Alt or Option click this, is creating this very specific targeted mask, which hits the trees much more than it hits the surrounding areas. So I can just go in and paint here as I like until I've got a nice adjustment of these trees. And let's just take a look from before to after. You see that nicely lightens up those trees. Maybe I give a little bit more up and down them, something like this, to just even that out. And I think that looks great. So I'm going to hit Command or Control D to deselect. We see the cell button is no longer lit green. And now I want to work on the water here. For this, I need a slightly different adjustment. I want to be a little bit more targeted. So I'm going to switch over to using a curve, and I'm going to double click on the curve, use the target adjustment tool in Photoshop, and just click and drag down on the water to make it darker in that area. And just like we did previously, I'm going to put a black layer mask on this and then paint white to reveal it on just the water areas. So let's Alt or Option click on mask to give it a black mask. And now we need something which helps target this water. We could go look at something like the lights in the image, and that's not bad, but it hits these trees pretty strongly. So I'm not sure that's my favorite. And if we go work on something like darks, that's going to hit the wrong areas. So I'm going to go take a look at the midtones, and Zone C seems to do a pretty nice job of hitting that water. Yes, it is hitting some of the adjacent areas, but maybe roughly similar to the water. And I think this ought to work just fine for our purposes. So I'm going to click on cell to load that as my selection, hitting B for my brush, and just going through and just with a little bit of care so I don't spill too much over the edges, brushing in these areas on the water to try and darken down that water a bit so that it's not stealing as much attention from the scene. So if we take a look at that water from before to after, you can see we've nicely kind of dimmed that down a bit. I can hit Command or Control D to deselect. And let's just take a look at our overall adjustment from before. We've got a pretty flat image to after where it has a lot more pop and is much more interesting through just a couple of quick adjustments with the panel. Let's jump over to another example. And in this case, I've got another image which is also kind of flat. And what I want to do is brighten up the highlights, darken these shadows, and I think I probably want to add a little bit of additional color separation between them, as well as bring out this cloud a little bit more. So several different adjustments that I'm thinking about doing here. To begin, for the mountain here, let's work on the highlights, and we'll take a look at lights 1, which is probably a pretty decent way of hitting these highlights. I could take a look at lights 2, is fairly precise. So I'm going to stick with lights 1 and make that into a brightness contrast layer. So we've got that new layer mask here on the brightness contrast, and I'm just going to brighten this up considerably to something like 100 or so. Let's bring in some more contrast, and that just kind of nicely brings out the highlight edges of the mountain there. Now, conversely, I want to go darken down these shadow areas. So let's go find something that's going to target these deeper shadows. And I could look at something like Darks 2. That's too broad. It's hitting a lot of the highlight faces. Darks 3 is better. Darks 4 seems like probably the best choice. So I'm going to use that and again, make a brightness contrast layer. And this time, let's go and simply darken it down. So just bring our brightness way down and bring our contrast probably up a little bit. Something like this, where we've kind of darkened down those areas. Now we're getting nice control of contrast in this image. And I think that's looking really nice. And we can probably start working on the color. So I want to go and add some color to the highlights of this image. So I think I'm going to go and grab a new color balance adjustment layer. And with that, for the highlights, let's go make things a little more magenta and a little more yellow. And of course, we don't want this everywhere. We just want it in the highlights. So let's take a look at lights. Probably not restrictive enough. Lights 2, that'll be better. So I'm going to click on mask, and that puts that as a mask on our current layer. And so now we have this little color adjustment, which is fairly subtle, but nicely improves and warms the highlights here. Conversely, I want to go and cool down the shadows. Let's go and create another color balance layer. Go add some blue to it. Something around here is probably about right. And let's go take a look at Darks 4. That seemed to work pretty good before. I think that'll be pretty decent targeting. Maybe Darks 5, I'll be a little more restrictive and click on mask to make that my layer mask. And so now that's adding a little bit of coolness to my shadows to just further separate the color between highlight and shadows. And now for this cloud, I need to brighten that up. Probably going to work with another brightness contrast layer. Obviously make it brighter. And now I'm going to paint in just the areas of the cloud. So I want to Alt click on mask to give it a black layer mask. And then I need a selection to paint through and hit this cloud. So let's take a look at the different midtones here and see if we can't find a good one. So Zone B is too dark because the cloud's not very well selected. Go click on something like Zone C. That's looking quite a bit better. Zone D here, that's probably the best. You can see that this cloud is nicely targeted and it's not hitting the sky around it. So I'm going to use that as my selection by clicking on the cell button. With my mask active, hitting B for my brush, make my brush a little bit bigger. and just brush over these areas through that selection. So I'm just painting white through that selection onto that black layer mask to reveal this adjustment in the cloud and just make that much more interesting there. Really start to get that sense of depth in this scene without spilling over and making the blue sky start getting light or haloed or some weird thing like that. So you can see here, if I Alt or Option click, that nice precise targeting of the cloud and some of the highlights around it, that just gives it a really nice look like that. So I can hit Command or Control D to deselect. And let's take a look from before. We've got a pretty flat image to after, where there's much more control and contrast in the image. And I think things look really good overall. There's maybe a couple little adjustments I want to make. I think this area got a little too dark, and maybe the same here. So let's go figure out where that happened. And it certainly seems like my darkening layer is doing that. So I can go to this mask and just brush out these areas that are too strong. So if I go and switch over to a black paint, I'm going to bring my flow down a bit. And I'm just going to paint directly on this mask with black. That just kind of eases up on that adjustment a little bit. And same thing for probably the color balance, which was coming off of this layer. I'm going to go and have a little bit less of that blue in these deepest areas here. It seems like they just got a little too dark, a little too blue. And let's try that. I think looks perfect now. Let's now take a look at some of the ways the Lumenzia LITE panel compares to the full version of Lumenzia. And I can't possibly do justice to all the differences, but I'll just go through a few highlights, including support for additional masking modes such as blend if under. We can go and add, subtract, or intersect any mask or selection. There's the ability to target by color. The previews now are fully interactive. So for example, we could go and have less of the blue sky, more of the yellow face of the mountain. And we could then go and use the sliders and maybe go target something like lights 2.25 for intermediate values. If we were in a zone mask, we could be a little more restrictive or a little bit less restrictive. We could go for brighter tones or darker tones in the image. We could even use the zone picker to go and grab a specific tone from the image and then start customizing the orange preview layers and sliders from there. We have totally new forms of visualization, including targeting by vibrance, saturation, or being out of gamut, difference in neighboring pixels, or a range of values. All the apply buttons are more powerful. For example, in the curves, we can now create zone curves. We have the ability to make contrast adjustments, dodge, burn, and sponge layers, vignetting, sharpening, and a whole suite of tools designed to help refine and visualize the image. Additionally, there are several custom options that allow for much more advanced control within the panel. And then there's the basics panel, which adds additional functionality above and beyond all that. So Lumenzia LITE is a great way to get started with luminosity masks, and the full version of Lumenzia adds quite a bit more capability to give you complete control to post-process beautiful works of art. Click on the links below to get your free copy of Lumenzia LITE or learn more about Lumenzia, and click on this video to learn more about the full version of Lumenzia.